Welcome to Victory Garden Live. I am Melissa Bauco. I'm here at Cornell University on a very, very rainy day. Sorry we're a little bit delayed. I'm carrying a whole bunch of things, including an umbrella. So we will see how this goes. You may have to bear with me a little bit. But you can see these beautiful plants behind me. This is just one tiny, tiny section of Cornell Botanic Gardens. And the rules are that we are supposed to have a mask on anywhere on campus. I may have to lower it a little bit because I don't know if everyone can hear me with the noise of the rain on top of everything. But we will see. Nobody else is around me. Probably not surprising given the weather. So it probably will be a-okay. You can see some beautiful tropical plants behind me. I am here at the Brian C. Nevins Welcome Center. You can see it here in the background. It's located at 124 Comstock Knoll Drive here in Ithaca. You can find the directions with regular GPS on your phone. It'll take you right here. There's a big parking lot not too far from here. Normally this welcome center is open. There are displays inside, there are amenities. Right now, one of their COVID precautions that they're taking is that the welcome center is closed, but there are stands in lots of locations here that have visitor maps and visitor guides, so you can get those there. Hi, Diana. Thank you for watching. Thank you for showing up here with me today in the rain. So yeah, the welcome center is closed, but you can still walk around all the gardens. All of Cornell Botanic Gardens is open from dawn to dusk every day. Thank you, JD, for the sympathy. It actually is really beautiful here. It's kind of nice that, it's quiet, but I am getting a little wet and I am having a little difficulty carrying everything. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I am going to go ahead and walk around a little bit here in the rain. I'll turn the camera around in a second. And like I said, you can actually come here. Everything here is open to the public. It's all free. Parking is a very small charge. There's one of those lots where you put in your license plate number, bring a credit card or some bills. It doesn't take coins. But yeah, it's $1.50 an hour for parking and the first hour is free. So it's very affordable to come visit here. So I am going to turn the camera around and we will go ahead and look around. Let's see. Give me a moment here. I don't know what kind of monster makes me go out in the rain, JD. Okay, so here we go. It is almost impossible to describe just how extensive the grounds of the Botanic Garden are. But we're going to see just a little tiny bit of them today. That's the walkway I came up. You can park down there. Here's the Welcome Center, which again is closed right now. But everything outside is still open. They're not putting all the plants away. And it is amazing, the plants that they have here. Things that you probably never imagined would be growing up here in the Twin Tiers, but yet they are. And it's interesting, the mixture of things. There are these huge tropical plants, along with perennials and ground covers and lots of annuals that we see here all the time. Check out this thing. Wow. Everything is very wet. But it's cool out here today. So there you go, right? I'm not having one of those 91-degree days where I'm passing out from the heat. Today we get the rainy day. It's pretty much been one or the other every Wednesday, I think. But, it is what it is. I'm keeping the mask on just because I don't have a free hand to take it off. But, Can everybody hear me okay? Somebody let me know if you can hear me okay or if I should go ahead and move it. Now, there are lots of labels and signage. So if you come here, you'll actually be able to learn a lot. It'll tell you the Latin names of the plants. You can kind of see a little bit in here. Here's marshmallow. Look at that. It's a marshmallow plant. These are some begonias. And the colors are amazing. Oh, thank you. Glad you can hear me. So here's an example. We have Cornell Botanic Gardens. From providing our food to inspiring creativity, plants are essential to our survival and well-being. Sorry, let's turn around here. The gardens here showcase a diversity of cultivated plants used and cherished by people around the world. So I'm moving my paper here. You can look at the Cornell Botanic Gardens website for an extensive list of the plants and trees that are here and that are part of the Botanic Gardens. There's actually a great article posted about the symbolic meanings of many of the flowers. So that's really nice. So here's a little map. And there are lots of these all around here. Let me tilt up a little here. They have boxes with visitor maps. So plenty in there. All of the boxes I've seen so far are well stocked. So when you arrive, you can pick up one of those maps, because this part on this map here that you're seeing is a tiny, tiny little part of the Botanic Gardens. So gardens here near the Welcome Center. So I'm shuffling some pages here. We have the Young Flower Garden. That is a collection of flowering plants that have symbolic meanings from all over the world. There's a ground cover collection around the Lewis Building. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. That's a mix of sun-loving and shade-loving plants. And the Robeson Herb Garden, we're going to take a look over there in just a minute. There are over 500 varieties of herbs. 500! Who even knew there were 500 herbs in the world? There are 500 varieties of herbs in 17 different themed beds. Now many of the gardens are named for the benefactors and alumni who donated to be able to create the gardens. So big thank you to them for allowing all of this to happen. And hopefully you can see the amazing colors on these. And don't forget the trees. The trees are a big part. That's why it's the Botanic Gardens and Arboretum. And the main road that runs through is actually called Arboretum Road. So if you follow that, you'll be able to just see all the gardens and all the trees. I'll tell you a little bit more about the trees in just a bit. But check this out. How amazing is that? Right here in Ithaca, New York. Who knew that this could grow? That is really amazing. And it is a university, of course. Floriculture research. So as you can see, the plants along this walkway are part of Cornell annual flower trials program. So they plant things here and see what grows in our climate and what doesn't. Makes sense? Surprisingly, this grows. That is something else. And we have lots of little flowers here. Oh, these are so pretty. These smell amazing too. Yes, and again, as usual, I'm always kind of sad we can't smell on Facebook because we're showing all these beautiful flowers. And look at this. That is the double allium sculpture. There's art throughout here too. So we don't just have the plants and the trees. As if that weren't enough, we have pieces of art and sculpture. There's a big hydrangea bush down there. So all the walkways, just lots of little, they call them pocket gardens tucked in here and there. I'm going to cross over so you can see this beautiful orange here. Look at that. And so many different kinds of foliage too. Look at these leaves. That is, and look at this. It's so funny to see this tropical looking plant next to petunias. And the mix of, again, the mix of foliage in here is amazing. So we're going to head up the walkway here. More of these orange. You know, Cornell campus is just so beautiful anyway. So this is sort of like a little pocket of extra beauty tucked in here. Now here's a good example of one of the tags. You can see these tags like this on many of the trees and plants throughout the gardens. So again, you can just come and look at the plants, or you could actually learn a lot about the plants while you're here. I feel like I'm in the tropics and we have not even left the Welcome Center. The size of these, this is amazing. I realize I'm not very tall, but this plant is as tall as I am. These are taller. And that's a lot taller. Look at that, wow. Oh, there's a little coleus hiding back here. And again, the size of these plants is just amazing. Again, I realize it's hard to get perspective, and I don't have a free hand to show you in here, but these are all taller than I am. Then if we come down this way, that's the Lewis building. It's a little covered in ivy right now. Here's some echinacea. They do accept donations to help support the gardens. Here's some fountain grass. So we're going to head over this way to the herb garden. And again, over 500 varieties of herbs in the herb garden. Wow. These are not the herb garden. We haven't even made it in there yet. Oh, and that's a huge tree back there too. And in fact, again, remember all the trees too are an important part of the gardens. Oh, there's a giant flower in there. I don't know if anybody can see the giant flower. Looks like a giant hibiscus maybe. So I'm going to pause here in the shade for just a second. Use this opportunity to hopefully turn the page. I don't have a lot of notes with me, but at least a little bit. Okay, let's go down this way. Oh, plants above us too. And again, I apologize that I'm talking through this. If you come here on your own, it'll be a really peaceful afternoon. Here's Ezra Cornell. So here is the herb garden. You can see this is pretty large. There are several entrances. This is where we just were. Here's a map of the herb garden. And they actually break it out into sections. You can see herbs for dyeing things, herbs for making tea, fragrant herbs, edible herbs. Oh, and look, this garden is a tribute to Doris B. Robeson as a gift from her husband, Ellis H. Robeson, class of 1918. And the sign is a gift in memory of Gertrude Shepard. So thank you to everyone who donated and made this possible. I'm not going to read you the names of all the herbs because you can visit yourself. Oh, and heliotrope. If anybody has not ever smelled heliotrope, this is one of the best smelling plants that there is, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, look at this. This one is called Fragrant Delight. They smell kind of like vanilla frosting. They're amazing. Oh, look, apple scented geranium. Okay, this is amazing. This is the section of the ones that are supposed to smell nice. This is pretty amazing over here right now. We have the chocolate mint and lemon verbena. Oh, and there's a rose. Oh, some flowers peeking over there. Golden Delicious pineapple sage. And here are some tea herbs. Here we go. Leaves, flowers, roots, or seeds of these plants can be used as culinary or mild medicinal teas. Oh, here we go. Here's another Melissa right here for you. That actually is really nice. I like to put that in iced tea. And look, we have bee herbs. These are associated with beekeeping. Interesting. Reading some labels as I'm going by here. This little plant here, this is Agrammonia eupatoria in the rose family. Oh, we're in the dye garden here. It says that makes yellow dye. Here's our sunflowers. And the marigolds down here. Oh, and here's the amaranth. A few of us have the amaranth, thanks to Ruby. And apparently you can make a red dye with that. Oh, and we have lots of edible ones in here. Look at that. I did not know cardamom would grow up here. Here's the dill. So I would highly recommend coming here for a couple of hours if anyone has a chance while things are still blooming, because the smell is just amazing. Now again, I'm in the herb garden right now. You can actually even smell this tarragon. Everything in here is, it's so fragrant, and obviously I can't share that on Facebook, but it's absolutely amazing. So if you can come over here while things are still blooming and, you know, plants are still alive for the season, I guarantee you will enjoy this. So while we're here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the other gardens that Cornell has here. There's a large, very large, as a matter of fact, flowering tree collection. So spring is a good time to visit also, so that most of those trees bloom in spring, so then you'll be able to see the trees. The gardens include 92 different varieties of apples. And not really, you know, growing apples for food, but flowering apple trees like crab apples. So 92 different varieties of apples. Most of them are located in the Jennings Crabapple Collection and in the Class of 1923 Flowering Tree Collection. And again, I also apologize that I can't give credit to all the classes that have donated gardens here. There are many gardens named for various classes of alumni. And again, many different donors. But that's the Class of 1923 Flowering Tree Collection. They also have 38 varieties of magnolia. So I always find it amazing that magnolia grows up here, much less 38 varieties. And 20 varieties of flowering cherry trees. Oh, here's salads and pot herbs. So we have nasturtium down there. We have garlic chives. More apple mint. Oh, here we have herbs of Native Americans. So we're going to head around this way. Amaranth again. Okay, this might get a little wet for just a second. I'm going to put this down. Okay, I just wanted to mention a couple more of the tree gardens that they have. There are 8 varieties of pine trees, and they also have a conifer collection. So conifer, basically, if you picture an evergreen tree that makes cones that have seeds, that's a conifer. There's also the Cornell class of 1901 nut tree collection that has black walnut, butternut, and heartnut trees. It has hickories and chestnuts. And they were mostly planted in the early 1960s. You can get a good overview from up here. Now again, this is just the tiniest little bit of all the collections here. You have to head down the road to go to where all the tree gardens are. There's also an entire garden of rhododendrons. There's a summer house. The rhododendrons are kind of near the summer house. And there's a vegetable garden. The garden showcases heirloom vegetables, also experimental varieties made here at Cornell. And there is a high hoop garden, things planted in the high hoop. We learned about the high hoops at Muddy Fingers. And the conditions in the high hoop are meant to simulate climate change. So it's there to study what happens to plants if there's climate change and how it will affect plants and food crops. Now I'm going to try to do a little tiny, very, very short extra video after this of the Newman Overlook, because you don't want to be waiting here for an hour while I walk that far to find it. But that's actually a really beautiful spot on campus, so we'll take a look at that. Oh, I'm just going to take a look at this little statue. This is pretty. Yarb woman. Look at that. Interesting. Now if we head through here, oh, sorry, I'm stuck. Wow, okay. You can see it goes to the ground cover collection and the rhododendron collection. Well, that was the way we walked up earlier. Wow. Now, one of the things it mentioned in the information is that they wanted to show shade-loving ground covers and sun-loving ground covers. So you can probably tell we're in the shade right now with these beautiful ferns. I have to duck a little bit better under these trees. This part reminds me of Bill Plummer, who was a docent at the Cornell Museum of Glass for many years. He also had amazing, amazing gardens at his house, and he used to do garden tours. And his yard was very shady. So this reminds me a lot of what his yard looked like with all the beautiful shade gardens and shade plants. And of course, those of you who know Bill, he was a scientist at Cornell before he was a docent at the Glass Museum. This is actually really nice with the rain. There's some non-sculpture art. It is a plant zoo. Let's see. So I think I'll stop here because I don't want to make the episode too long. Let me just switch the camera for a second. So there we go. Thank you very much for joining me here in the rain to look at the Cornell Botanic Gardens. It's so amazing. And this was just the tiniest little part of the gardens. So again, I would highly encourage everybody to come visit. Totally free and amazing. You can go for a beautiful walk. You can sit in one of these shady spots and just enjoy your day. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll join me next week.